When Romeo sees that his beloved friend has been killed, he seeks vengeance and kills Tybalt. Remembering that the prince's warning about consequences of any further violence, Romeo runs to Friar Lawrence for help. Friar Lawrence tells Romeo that the prince is sparing his life, but he is banished and must leave Verona forever. In desperation, Romeo threatens to kill himself, but Friar Lawrence has a plan. Romeo will spend his wedding night with Juliet and then leave for Mantua, a nearby town, in the morning. In the meantime, the friar will work on getting the prince to lift his sentence. Romeo is encouraged by the plan and goes to Juliet. After a night together, he knows he must leave her.
I must be gone and live, or stay and die.
As soon as Romeo leaves, Juliet's parents enter her room to give her some news. She'll be married to Paris in 3 days' time. Juliet, of course, bitterly protests, but Capulet doesn't want to hear it.
Hang thee, young baggage, disobedient wretch. I tell thee what, get thee to church on Thursday, or never after look me in the face.
Even the nurse thinks that Juliet should give up on Romeo and marry Paris. Not knowing what else to do, Juliet goes to seek help from Friar Lawrence. Friar Lawrence sees that Juliet is desperate enough to kill herself, so he proposes a risky plan.
If thou darest, I'll give thee remedy.
On the night before her wedding to Paris, Juliet is to drink a potion which will make her appear dead. She will then be taken to her family burial vault. Meanwhile, Friar Lawrence will notify Romeo that he should meet Juliet at the vault and take her with him to Mantua. Capulet suddenly moves up the wedding date. So that very night, despite her fears, Juliet takes the potion.
Romeo, I come, this dew I drink to thee.
The next morning, the nurse, Paris lady, Capulet, and Capulet all believe that Juliet is dead. Juliet is buried in a vault, and the plan seems to be working. But before Friar Lawrence's note has reached Romeo, Romeo's servants sees the burial and rushes to Mantua to tell Romeo that his love is dead. Romeo immediately goes to buy some poison in order to kill himself and returns to Verona to take the poison at Juliet's side. When he arrives at the Capulet's vault, he finds Paris placing flowers on Juliet's grave. Thinking that Romeo is there to vandalize the grave, Paris challenges him and dies on Romeo's sword.
Oh, I am slain. If thou be merciful, open the tomb and lay me down next to Juliet.
Romeo grants Paris his dying wish and lays him in the tomb. After admiring Juliet's beauty and supposed death, Romeo drinks his poison and also dies. Friar Lawrence, discovering that his letter explaining the plan was never delivered to Romeo, arrives at the vault moments too late. Juliet wakes up and sees Romeo's dead body. Friar Lawrence tries to convince her to leave with him and become a nun, but she stays in the tomb and kills herself with Romeo's dagger. News of the death spreads quickly throughout Verona. Prince Aeschylus calls for Friar Lawrence so that he can give an account of what happened. After he tells the whole story, Capulet and Montague end their feud, and Prince Aeschylus ends the play with these lines.
Some shall be pardoned and some punished, for never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo.